Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the stream today. Happy Taco Tuesday to everybody in here. Thank you for joining up. George, Lewis, Keisha, Jamie, Mike. I appreciate all you guys joining up. Man, we have a great morning on our hands here with the SPY. We are moving up above $400 in an amazing way right now. I mean, the SPY is really breaking out here, guys. We're bouncing off 400. We're all the way up to 407 in pre-market. This is making for some amazing price action, and overall, it's just a lot of stocks are doing well this morning. I noticed Walmart was one stock kind of falling off, but we do have Home Depot, Citigroup, NVDA, AMD, tons of other stocks are flying up today, guys. It's been a great morning. Thanks for joining up, Hunter. Good morning to you, too. Thanks for joining us here today, but leading my watch list to the upside today is actually these China plays, believe it or not. LI is leading it up 8%. We have BABA coming in just under at 6.8%. So definitely nice movement here. I know Mike's free day trade in the Discord today is NIO. If you guys are interested, go check out NIO. It has a lot of momentum, and go check out that free day trade in the Discord. But man, yeah, lots of stocks are moving. Delta Airlines is up 5%. They're breaking out up above $40, which is actually a pretty good play here. So wow, I mean, this is great, guys. Great price action, and lots of stocks are breaking some pretty awesome resistance levels, which, you know, it's been a long time since we've seen nice uptrends like this, so I'll definitely take it. Looks like Snowflake is flying up here, Unity. So yeah, just let me know what stocks you guys want me to cover today. We do have some big things with Walmart earnings, and then Warren Buffett had some pretty big news with Citigroup as well, which is part of the reason why they're flying up. So we'll have to see exactly what's going on here in a little bit whenever a couple people start to show up a little bit more. Keisha says to check out Para. Let's see that, P-A-R-A. I noticed this one was going crazy this morning. Yeah, Paramount. Yeah, I know this one had a lot of crazy news. Let's actually go see the news on Paramount here, Keisha, because it is pretty crazy. I'm sure it's right on here, right on the front page of CNBC somewhere. Let's see. Yep, Paramount jumps 10% after Berkshire reveals a new stake. So pretty much Berkshire and a lot of other big funds have been pretty much reporting a bunch of their different stakes that they've been taking. You know, as we know, not Warren Buffett. Yesterday, what's his name? Michael Burry with Scion Asset Management came out, and obviously we heard a lot of his positions, like his short on Apple, and obviously he went long on a couple other stocks like Google and stuff like that. But it's very interesting to see that you know, Berkshire is picking up Paramount. I think that's very interesting, and hey, I'll take it. You know, it's been a while since Paramount has been really flying up. If we look at that max daily chart, they have been getting destroyed, guys. Just straight up destruction on their stock. So I'm glad it's coming up, and I'm really glad Buffett is buying in, because that just gives me a lot of confidence. I love Warren Buffett's stocks and his different positions. I'm also in Kraft Heinz, which he's holding too. So I definitely am, you know, a big fan of Buffett's. I also followed him with some of his other positions, like GOLD. He was in this one for a while and sold out somewhere near the top, I believe. And he's been in a bunch of other stocks. I know he did lose on an airline play a while ago, but so far, I mean, at least today, it's really helping push up Para to the upside. I also noticed he had a position taken in Citigroup as well. And at the bottom of this article that we were just looking at, they also mentioned he also took a stake in HP, which is very interesting. So I'll go to HPQ here, and you can see they're up 2.3% as well. And look at the max daily chart for HPQ. They're actually up around highs, and they've been holding up pretty well. So that's pretty nice there. Oh, good morning, Kenya. Good morning, Sean. Sean says, open with a machine of alerts going off. Let's go. Yeah, definitely, Sean. Lots of big stocks are moving. I'm sure lots of algos are seeing this come through, and they're also help pushing up a lot of stocks. And as we know, you know, as stocks start to rise, they show up on people's scanners and on people's watch list at the top and everything like that. So hopefully we keep seeing more momentum come in as traders continue to get into some of these bigger stocks here, because these stocks are pretty big, guys. It's not like we just have some small stocks moving today. You know, we got some pretty big players here like NVIDIA, Enphase. Looks like even Rivian's moving. Zoom is up 5%. Going into some bigger stocks like Adobe up 3.2%. Ford is up like 3%. So yeah, we're definitely seeing lots of great movement today out of just about any stock. I only have a couple stocks on my watch list in the red, and it looks like a lot of the slower moving value plays that are starting to pull back a little bit, like Walmart, Kraft Heinz looks like it's pulling back a little bit, KHC, Costco's pulling back, Target's coming back down actually. So very interesting to see a lot of these retailers, or I should say like wholesalers, starting to fall off a little bit too. I think that's pretty interesting, but nonetheless, most stocks are doing great today though. So if those stocks go down and the rest of these growth stocks go up, I won't even be too worried about any of this. Let's see. Mike says, did Burry ever close out on his Gala short position? I'm actually not too sure about that, Mike. I can't really remember too much. Let's go see. GALA. Let's see how they're moving though. Maybe they've been moving in a good way. Let's see here. It actually won't even come up on the daily, believe it or not. Let's see. Go back to SPY. Yeah, I don't know. GALA is not even coming up for me, Mike. I'm not sure if he closed out of it I'm not sure if he closed out of it or not though. I'll be honest, I don't follow Burry too close. I do keep up with some like the bigger headline plays that he takes, and I was looking a lot at like Scion's holdings over the past couple weeks, and it's been very interesting to kind of look at their holdings. I'll actually throw them up here for you guys just so you can see. I'm not sure how updated this is. Let's see. It should say on here. It should say on here when the last date. Oh, here we go. Right here. Perfect. So since this report came through as of the end of March, these all updated. So this is great. So you can see all the positions, or the top 50 positions Scion's holding. You can see obviously their biggest position is BMY. They're into BKNG, Discovery, Google, Facebook. So yeah, they're in a lot of stocks here. And then as you can see here at the bottom, there's a few other ones that they've been closing out of, for example, like General Dynamics. I remember talking about this a lot over the past couple months. I remember talking about this one just because of everything going on with Russia and everything like that. I thought it was interesting that he was holding that, but yeah, here's all the current positions. Let's see here. It's not showing the shorts though, so keep that in mind, Mike. It's not showing the shorts, but either way, as we know, he came out and he shorted Apple now. I know he shorted a lot of other companies. I remember he had a lot of TLT puts a long time ago too, and look what TLT ended up doing. I mean, I'm not saying he was right away. The stock ended up going up and consolidating around 150 for a while, but it really came back down here. Okay, he said Tesla. Okay, so sorry, Mike. Yeah, he said it was Tesla. So, looking at Tesla, yeah, I think he probably did close his Tesla position, Mike. I'm not too certain though. I don't see it showing up on the holdings on the website there, but the website's not showing any of these shorts, which is unfortunate to see. Let's see if we can see Scion Asset Management, Tesla. Maybe we can find something like that. Let's see. November 16th. Tesla stocks get a lift. Okay, so it looks like November 16, 2021, it got reported that Tesla stock gets a lift as big short investor Michael Burry exits his position. So I'm not sure if that's the same position you're talking about, Mike. I know that he gets in there all the time, but I know he's been taking a lot of different positions lately is what I should say. But just keep in mind that it does look like he might have exited that. I think he did exit. I think I remember seeing that a while ago, but nonetheless, though, Tesla's still kind of been falling down, which is very interesting to see how it's been really kind of pulling back. And what I'm also interested in is that, he kind of did close out and it did keep falling, which is very interesting. So it's, yeah, George says he already did close out some months ago. He said he was just speculating or something. Yeah, and that's a really good point, George, because he was kind of speculating on Tesla. And the thing is that he was long a lot of other stocks, like I showed here. So you can see he has how he was long. Let's go back to his positions. Where'd it go? I have so many of these things open here. Let's see if we can find it now. Okay, it was on here. Go back. Go to his holdings really quick. So as we can see, he's long a lot of other stocks. Okay, he's long Facebook. He's long Cigna. He's long Alphabet. He's long Discovery, BMY. So even if he does take short positions on Tesla and on Apple and on a few other stocks, they might just be like shorter term hedge plays. Like you said, maybe a speculation play, George. So yeah, just keep that in mind, guys, that while he does short some stuff, he does still seem relatively bullish overall. So, and you can see some of these positions are pretty big. I mean, you know, they're mostly pretty equally weighted, somewhere between like 8 to 13% on most of these. Like, look at this. Facebook, he has like $17.7 million worth of at, you know, 10.76% of his portfolio. Yeah, George, exactly. Yeah, just like that article I showed a couple minutes ago from Business Insider there. But yeah, he's been making a lot of different trades here the past couple of years. It's kind of interesting to look at Michael Burry's positions and see exactly what's been going on. And looking at Tesla here, it is coming back up today, which is very nice to see. I know that, you know, obviously he closed out, what did I say? It was back in November of 2021, which was funny. So that was a while ago, believe it or not. But yeah, it's hard to think that we're already almost 6 months into 2022, guys. It feels like this year has been just flying by. I don't know about you, but it's been a very quick year so far. And it's crazy to see how the market's been progressing too. Like all these stocks kept falling down, but hey, I'll take the green upwards movement today. Very nice to see. Raymond puts the red stop signs there. Yeah, that's hilarious. Let's see, DraftKings, yeah, starting to get some red coming in. Let's see SPY here. Are we seeing some red? Yeah, looks like SPY's starting to turn over a little bit here. So let me know what stocks you guys want to see today. I know it's been very interesting with all of Warren Buffett's positions, Michael Burry's different trades and everything like that. So I know Buffett was also taking up a position in Citigroup today. Maybe we can check that out a little bit. Let's go see good old Citigroup here. We can see they jumped 5% in pre-market. Looks like he revealed a near $3 billion stake, which is interesting. So that is extremely interesting to see that Buffett's buying that much of it. Look at this. The 91-year-old Oracle of Omaha scooped up Citi shares while they have been underperforming. That's funny. They call him the Oracle of Omaha, but wow, I can't believe he's 91, guys. He's getting up there. I hope he keeps going. You know, it's nice to see him continue to make trades and stuff like that. Reminds me of my grandfather, actually. He was like 90 years old, making trades too. Obviously nothing like Warren Buffett, of course, but it was definitely pretty cool to see there. Let's see, it says Citi now joins some of those rivals in Buffett's portfolio. Berkshire owned $41.6 billion of Bank of America at the end of March, marking its second biggest holding next to Apple, and they've owned Bank of America since 2017. He also built a new $390 million stake in Ally Financial, which is interesting. So looks like Ally's stock is also jumping up here. But yeah, overall, this is pretty crazy to see how he's scooping up a lot of these banks while they're low here. And that should give us some confidence on some of these banks. I mean, if I'm being honest here, these banks are low, guys, like low. Look at Citigroup. I can't believe Citigroup was at this $45 support that I've had on my chart here for a while. I cannot believe it got that low. Look at JP Morgan here. I mean, it's also super low, falling off the board down to 121 from highs of 172. I don't know about you guys, but Warren Buffett getting into the banks down here makes me want to kind of follow along. So I'm going to really keep my eyes on some of these banks because I've been really looking at buying some longer term positions up on some of these. And believe it or not, it looks like, is JP Morgan having some technical movement here? Are we seeing JP Morgan bounce off of some trend lines? It kind of looks interesting on the way down here, guys. I think I just let's see here. Yeah, it looks like they've had multiple bounces on this trend line. I mean, looks pretty good. Hopefully we can break out above it over the next couple days. Always be careful of fake outs. You know, it looks like it did slightly break this trend line like 1 or 2 times, but tons of bounces on this, which is very interesting to see. I can't believe sometimes how some of these trend lines show some of the price movement on stocks. It's pretty crazy how they move together. George is saying AMD at $100. Wow, let's see. Wow, you lied, George. It's at $99.50. No, I'm just joking. It was just there. But yeah, look at this. It's had great movement today, moving up in an amazing way. We broke 98. We even broke 100 momentarily there, George. It ran up to 135, but looks like it's pulling back now. As we know, $100 we probably could have guessed was going to be a huge resistance. So I'm not too upset to see this falling off in a little bit of a way at $100. Hopefully it can keep going up though, George. You know, it's had some great movement, and I think it has a good shot to continue. You know, these stocks, they don't always go straight up, of course, as we always know, but I still believe that there's a pretty decent chance that we'll see see some pretty good movement. So I'll take it. It's not the worst, not the best, but overall it's pretty good movement today. You know, they're up 5%. Like I said, I don't expect it to continue all day, but you know, so far it's been definitely moving in a pretty hot way. So that's good. NVIDIA is also breaking out in a big way. They broke above 180 and they flew up to 183. So I'll take that, guys. Definitely some good movement there. And don't forget to smash that like button. You know, stocks are doing great today. Smash that like button. It'll definitely help out the channel and everything like that. But so far, Square, DraftKings, Fubo, CCL, Fastly, you name it, it's in the green. It's running in a pretty big way here. I know over the past 60 seconds it's pulling back a little bit, but for the most part, these stocks are running up. You know what's interesting is I know crude oil stocks were really exploding yesterday. I'm curious to see how they're kind of doing today. And it looks like they're pulling back. I mean, Oxy ran up to 69.79 in after hours. Now it's pulling back down to like 67.70. So very interesting to see Oxy starting to turn over a little bit like this. Looks like ZOM, CVX is turning over even. But crude oil itself is holding up pretty well. So that's interesting. Looks like crude is staying right around $115 a barrel, which, you know, that's actually a pretty good price point, believe it or not. I mean, that's a very high price on crude oil. If we look at that max daily chart, you can see how crude has really been popping up here over the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green days in a row, as long as today closes green. So yeah, it's been crazy. And there's a big resistance here actually right around 115 to 116. So hopefully we see crude start to slow down, honestly. I hope it doesn't keep exploding. You know, I mean, it's crazy to see these gas prices. I know Hunter was saying the gas prices out in I can't remember, Vermont, I think it was something like $4.80 a gallon for regular. I know by me it's like $4.30 and premium's like $4.80, but wow, I couldn't imagine paying $4.80 for a tank of, or for a gallon of regular gas, guys. I mean, that is insane. Hit that like button if you want the price of gas to go down, because geez, I mean, it's been insane, guys. Like I drive like I have a Ford Focus ST and I have like a Mustang, and you know, it's kind of funny, like I try not to drive the Mustang anymore because it takes up too much gas. It's funny. It's like a paperweight now. No, I'm just joking, but it's still it's pretty funny though. You know, it's pretty crazy to see how fast the gas goes in some of these cars. Like you drive a V8, you can just see that needle going down and you're like, damn, that was a quick $70. It's like, wow. But yeah, either way, it's been insane, guys. I can't believe the price of gas, and it's been something else. Let's go look at the gas futures. Actually, you can check out /RB if you guys are ever interested. You can see gasoline futures here, and look at the futures price. I mean, gasoline futures are sitting at $3.99 a gallon right now. That's very telling here, and they were above $4, so that is insane to see. Look at the daily chart of gas. I mean, wow, that sucks, guys. I hate to see that. And you know, I drive like 30 minutes every night to go work out, and I'll tell you, it's been racking up lately. You know, believe it or not, it's been price of gas is really hitting hard. But I couldn't imagine, you know, a lot of how bad inflation's hitting a lot of people right now. You know, I know even just yesterday, it was pretty interesting to see a lot of articles coming out about Jeff Bezos getting into it actually with the White House, believe it or not, over inflation. So it looks like Jeff Bezos was actually tweeting at Joe Biden over the weekend, and he was saying, you want to bring down inflation? Let's make sure the wealthiest corporations pay their fair share. And then Bezos responded by accusing him of misdirection, arguing that there's no link between inflation and corporate taxes. Bezos wrote, raising corporate taxes is fine to discuss. Taming inflation is critical to discuss. Mushing them together is just misdirection. And I think he's right. You know, I don't think that we're going to be fixing inflation by just raising corporate taxes. And I understand what people are saying. they're saying, hey, we're paying too much taxes. We need to raise the corporate taxes, because we pay too much. But in the end, the main issue is that you're raising corporate taxes. Keep in mind, those corporations then aren't going to be able to hire as many people. They're not going to be able to raise the wages of their workers as high. I mean, they're not going to be able to do a bunch of stuff. Like, there's a lot of things that, could happen by raising corporate taxes. Now, I'm not saying that the individual person should pay a lot of taxes either. I totally agree that the normal person should have a lesser tax rate than a lot of these billionaires and a lot of these companies and stuff. But at the same time, it's just, that's not going to fix the issue, by just taxing corporations. That if anything, that might make it worse. So I don't know, but either way, he was hitting really hard on Biden here. I mean, look what he said right here. Look, a squirrel. This is the White House's statement against my recent tweets. They, let's see what I'll actually bring up the article. He says, they understandably want to muddy the topic. They know inflation hurts the neediest the most. And this is what I really wanted to hit on, guys. They know inflation hurts the neediest the most. And they know that, they know that these corporations and these billionaires and stuff, they're not really hurting because of inflation, And then he also said, but unions aren't causing inflation and neither are wealthy people. Remember, the administration tried. He's hitting them pretty hard, I will say. And just keep in mind, like, when he says they know inflation hurts the neediest the most, he's talking about, the normal individual that makes maybe like $30,000 to $50,000 a year. I'm sure that's hurting them so bad right now to go to the gas pump and, pay extra for food and, everything's gone up. It's been insane. And a lot of people still make the same. So it's kind of like, I'm sure it's been very hard for a lot of people lately. It's been crazy. Like I said, it's like $70 or $80 just to fill up your gas tank nowadays. Let's see. He also says, oh, okay, I see. Administration tried their best to add another $3.5 trillion to federal spending. They failed, but if they had succeeded, inflation would be even higher than it is today, and inflation today is at a 40-year high. That's really telling, actually, Bezos. I'm glad you said that there. Yeah, they did. They did their best to try to add another $3.5 trillion package, and they couldn't do it because Republicans in Congress, and even a few Democrats, I believe, ended up striking that bill down, and it still ended up being a huge bill, like $1.5 trillion or something. So it was insane. It's just whenever they start talking about, spending bills and different things like that that cost trillions and trillions of dollars, guys, it's gonna jump up inflation. It just is. It's how the economy works. And then also, it just goes to show that the Feds should have been raising rates sooner. That's also another reason why it went out of control. They had too easy of a market and they shouldn't have made it so easy. But it came down to big tech stocks were still doing great, but, a lot of people in the economy still weren't. So I get it. There's a lot of, it's hard, guys. It's always hard to, fix the economy and be perfect. As we know, Powell has a very, very hard job, and it's very difficult for him to do things like that. Hunter says, yeah, man, $4.85 for regular gas out here. It's insane. Shoe leather express time. Yeah, we better start learning how to ride some bikes or something, Hunter. Man, that's getting rough. Lewis says, JMIA up 18%. Is it? Let's go see. Wow, it is up 18.9% after earnings. That's awesome, Lewis. They're running up in a big way, up to 679. That's great. Look at that. Well, it looked great till I went to the daily chart. Now it don't look quite as good. You can see we're at $6.79, and we've been really booming up the past week, but you can see we're still really far off of even like $10. So yeah, it's tough here with JMIA. I will say though, I'm glad it's coming up today and it's having a good move after earnings. I'll definitely take it, Lewis, but really good call out there. Hopefully it keeps running up with some nice momentum. It would definitely make for some amazing movement here. Peter says, best to get an electric bike. They only cost about $3.5K for a really nice one. Huh, interesting, Peter. I've seen some of those actually, like little electric bikes that you can ride around and stuff. Definitely interesting there, and that is interesting, Peter. And what would be even more interesting is if the bike had a little motor on it, and whenever you pedaled the bike, it would like charge up the motor, like have like a little alternator. So like as you pedal, it'll charge up that electric motor. I don't know if that's possible or not, Peter, but if that's how the bike works, I'll be very impressed nonetheless. Sean says inflation is made in two places: the Capitol building and that Greek temple down on Constitution Avenue that houses the Fed. Yeah, I think you're right there, Sean. I could agree with that. Definitely made in the Capitol building, and you're right. The Greek temple on Constitution Avenue. That is hilarious, Sean. Oh, but yeah, the market's doing pretty good today. I mean, it's holding up okay. It is starting to pull back a little bit, but keep in mind, guys, SPY is still up above 400. As long as we stay above 400, I'll take it. I would like to stay above 402.50 today if we can, but I'm not sure that's going to be possible given all the movement here. But either way, the market's been doing fairly decent today. Let's see what's leading my watch list here. Wow, it looks like Mike's free day trade from today is exploding. So let me get the numbers here. So Mike called out his free day trade in the Discord today, and he had NIO, and he said if it breaks above 1543, he likes it for calls. And guys, let's check this out. It really broke above 1543. Once we broke that this morning, we just started exploding straight up all the way up to 1613. So hey, check out the Discord link if you guys aren't in there yet. Definitely an awesome place to be. There's a great trading community, and if you guys ever need help or anything like that, you can always get it. You can chat with Mike and myself, and it's a really good place to go. So definitely check out the Discord link below if you guys have not if you guys are not in there yet. I know the majority of you guys are in there, but maybe we have some fresh faces here. But yeah, NIO's up 9.6, 9.7%. It looks like it is turning over a little bit now, but wow, it had a lot of momentum. What's also interesting is Rivian is climbing up my watch list today. It's up 7.9%. It was up like 10% plus there, it looks like, for a little while. So that is insane. Let's see. Yeah, at one point it was up over 10%. So it's definitely having some big moves, guys. I know Rivian has been all over the place. They had their earnings come out last week, and actually, look at this. This ain't too bad. So Rivian hit $18. They had their earnings, and ever since then, they've been kind of popping back. So very nice movement. I'll definitely take this from Rivian. I mean, it's nothing too crazy, but it's also looking pretty hot. Carnival Cruise Lines is coming up in a big way today also. So the cruise lines are doing well. CCL, RCL, NCLH. Yeah, very nice movement. So that's great. Glad to see them running, and it's always good to see the cruise lines up. That means that also airlines are up. So Delta's up, AAL's up, LUV is up. Keep in mind, the cruise lines and the airlines, they don't move, they're not 100% correlated, but they still have some pretty good movement here, and they definitely like to run up, together. We can see LUV or Southwest is really exploding here, guys. I mean, this is insane to see how they're running here. Like, look at this movement today. It's actually a pretty bullish setup here. If they break above that high of day at like 44.80, I'll definitely be looking for a big move up to around like 45, possibly a little bit higher. That looks like it's setting up pretty well, actually. I'll take that movement. Let's see so the biggest airline on my watch list right now, as far as movement today, looks like it's AAL. Yeah, they're up 5.2%. We have Delta Airlines at 4.9%, and then we have good old UAL down here at 6.5% actually. Look at them; they're actually breaking above their high of day, which is nice to see. So yeah, the airlines are moving. If you guys are looking for some momentum plays, this might be the way to go. I know airlines have been really popping over the past few weeks, and it's been absolutely insane. Wow. Let's see, Vicky. Thanks for the nice comments here. She says, the more taxes companies pay, the more governments waste. I am glad Bezos is finally speaking out, as this rhetoric that billionaires are bad guys is ridiculous. Inflation was caused by reckless fiscal spending as well as reckless American spending. People bought things they didn't need, paid prices way above acceptable, and etc. We Americans are the ones to blame for inflation. Why people didn't save when they were given free money. Yeah, exactly, Vicky. I definitely agree. Everybody was given stimulus checks, and I'll be honest, I'm pretty young, so keep in mind my demographic of friends and people I know is going to be a little bit different than, people who are like 40, for example. But like, for example, a lot of people I know, the second they got those stimulus checks, they ran out and they bought a car. They bought like gold necklaces. They bought watches. They bought uh you know anything. I mean, they were buying like guns. They were buying golf clubs, baseball things. They were going to sporting events, taking vacations. They doing anything that costs money, going to see movies and going to the opera and, everything, mainly taking vacations and stuff. But I remember so many people were using that stimulus money for the wrong reasons. And it was, it definitely doesn't help, Vicky. You're definitely right. It was just too much reckless spending from people and the government overall. It's definitely a good point to look at. And it's been very interesting to see Bezos hitting on this. It's been interesting, guys. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys agree with Bezos. Like, do you think that it's more of the government causing this issue, or do you think that it's more of or do you guys think it's more of like, for example, people causing the issue and big companies causing the issue? Because, it seems like the government always likes to blame things on, consumer spending or on, big corporations or whatever it is. And it's pretty cool to see Bezos coming out here now. So that is nice to see. I'm glad this has finally happened here. But nonetheless, though, I know keep in mind, I was reading into this a little bit last night too. There is some things going on where Amazon's trying to become unionized, and obviously, like, the corporation of Amazon doesn't want this, but the workers of Amazon do. So it's kind of like, Biden is a big supporter of unions. So that's also a big reason why all this fighting is going on. But here's Jeff Bezos' Twitter account. So we'll actually go see all the crazy stuff he's been saying. Because, I mean, he's been going off the past few days, guys. I mean, it's been going off. I mean, so, like, let's just go up here a little bit. He says, let's see, 25 years ago yesterday, Amazon went public. As the Grateful Dead would say, what a long, strange trip it's been. It's been far from smooth, lots of risk-taking, lots of invention, lots of mistakes, so much we still have to do better. I wouldn't trade the ride for anything. Very cool to see him saying stuff like this. He's trying to say that, like, Amazon wasn't just something that became like $1 trillion company overnight. There was a lot of work that went into it, and as we know, ever since the beginning, it's been a very crazy road for Amazon, like them, doing stuff with books and stuff in the beginning and lots of stuff like that. It's been crazy, but hey, if you guys haven't liked the stream yet, like it for good old Jeff Bezos here. He's sticking up for himself, and it's very cool to see him, hitting back at the government here, because as we know, the government likes to, like I said, blame things on people, and I think it's very cool to see him hitting back. Whether you like him or not, you do have to commend his kahunas to go ahead and go after him like this, because the government has a lot of say, and who knows, he's attacking them. They could maybe try to pass a bill hurting Amazon or something like that now. Who knows? But he definitely is getting into a big spat with them, and it's so big that even CNBC had to publish about it yesterday. So it's definitely a pretty big headline. And talking about Amazon stock, I mean, it's low here, guys. It's at 22.51, and they have highs of 3,700. I mean, that's insane. Let's see. Sean says, off to another staff meeting that could have been handled by email. Good luck, Sean. Hopefully you have a good time there. He says, who controls the money supply? Yeah, I mean, it's tough to say, Sean. The government, obviously, they obviously have a big deal with their spending packages and stuff. So in a way, they control money. But in the end, keep in mind, consumers also control the money. So it just depends, because, if consumers all bundled together and use their money at once, it would be a lot different. But, it's very hard to say that, Sean. Honestly, I'm sure China or someone like that controls it, given how many people and stuff they have. Let's see. Hunter says, it's getting bad when they're losing Bezos. Yeah, you're definitely right about that. It must be getting rough. I always thought Bezos was friends with them, to be honest. I was very surprised to see to see Bezos coming out against Biden. You know, I thought they were on the same side there, but either way, it's very interesting. Vicky says the Fed provided liquidity to prevent companies to go bankrupt during the first pandemic in 100 years. Just because rates went down to zero didn't mean Americans need to borrow. How many out there didn't pay their rents and mortgages? Raise your hands. Yeah, that's a good point, Vicky. I know a lot of people out there who were given forbearance, I believe it's called, on their loans. Like, I know so many people, especially on student loans, they haven't had to pay anything on it really, and now they're kind of getting hit with it, and they're having to like maybe pay some stuff back even, and it's getting rough for a lot of people because people weren't expecting to have to pay this money back. I mean, you know, they knew about it, but they also at the same time thought maybe they'd pass a bill to take some of this cost off our shoulders or whatever. But yeah, you're definitely right there, Vicky. That's another big point, and I'm sure that's been playing a big role in some of the banks movement lately too. I mean, you know, I know they're doing great today. Like JP Morgan's up 3.8%. I'm telling you guys, I think Warren Buffett buying into banks is going to bring some renewed enthusiasm into here. This is going to be big, guys. I mean, it's good for Citigroup, but it's even bigger for like JP Morgan, Bank of America. I think that these are going to be some great companies to start picking up for the next couple months, guys. It'll be huge, so definitely look at that. I think that big banks are amazing, and look at it keep running today. Citigroup's continuing to move up above 50 ever since this report with Buffett came out, so great movement, guys. I'll take it. It's definitely cool to see. Glad to see Citigroup up 7%. I mean, it's about to it's making new highs now. Still running up on the 1 minute chart, and it's just now starting to break that high of day again. So great movement there. Looks like NEO's now up 10.5%. That's still running up here today. I mean, Mike's free day trade must be on fire. I mean, it's still it must be exploding today. So I'll take that. Great movement out of NEO, and the other China plays too. LI, Baba, they're still holding up okay. I mean, they could be doing better, but they're holding up decently well. We do have the space stocks doing good again, which is interesting. SPCE is breaking out again today, back to the upside. Having some pretty good intraday movement. Looks like Qualcomm's moving up. FedEx is having a nice move. AMD's still kind of looking good. Actually, AMD, guys, I'd be careful with this one. They're bouncing right off of the $100 resistance, and they slightly broke above 100 a little while ago. Now they hit 100, and they're like really getting rejected off of it. So intraday, be careful with AMD. I'm sure NVIDIA is pulling back with AMD too. Yeah, look at the pullback with NVIDIA now, guys. It's coming back, so be a little careful. Let's see how SPY looks. Wow, SPY's pulling back too. It's back below 406, and yeah, it's moving back down. I wonder how the SPY will end up today. It had that great move in pre-market. I wouldn't be too surprised maybe if we came down to like 404 or even like 403, started consolidating a little bit. I don't think I'd think that was too crazy there. Vicky says, loan forgiveness is a slap in the face of those who paid every dollar they borrowed. And let's not talk about those sitting at home doing what? 11.5 million jobs that cannot be filed. I am done. Yeah, Vicky, I definitely agree. You know, there's way too many people still taking like unemployment and everything like that. That's definitely a good point. You know, I've heard that the jobs market is crazy. Like they're having trouble filling positions and stuff like that. So a really good point. That's also a big economic factor that has been slowly plaguing the markets as well. You know, that's just another issue that we've been running into. Yeah, but you know, if you guys are looking at any other stocks that are running today, definitely let me know. You know, it looks like lots of stocks are starting to pull back a little bit. If you guys are finding anything running up with momentum right now, definitely let me know. I'll take a look at it, and it'll make for a nice fun stream here. Let's see. Vicky says Tesla levels, please. Definitely, Vicky. So today in pre-market, Tesla was really having trouble falling under, it looks like $740. So every time I say something with Tesla, Vicky, give or take a couple dollars, because obviously since Tesla's like $700, you know, keep in mind, just give or take a couple dollars, because these supports might, you know, they might fluctuate ever so slightly. But I'm seeing a huge support today on Tesla right around 740. And I really like 740 because you can see yesterday there was also a lot of intraday action right around 740. So I think that'll be a pretty big support today if we can hold this. If we can't hold it, we might just end up, still tanking off to the downside a little bit. But as of now, it's still holding its ground pretty well, and I'll take it. As far as Tesla to the upside, Vicky, there's a big resistance I see up around 760. We didn't quite reach 760 today. We got to 758.88, but I will say that's a pretty big resistance up there. You can see in pre-market yesterday, there was some movement right around 760, and then towards the end of day, 760 also was holding up. If we break above 760, then I'll eye up 770. And I do want to say, Vicky, if we break below 740 here, the next major thing I'm looking at below that is going to be 735. And then the biggest level, though, is down there around 720. 720 was like a bit of a double bottom yesterday. And what's interesting is Tesla was extremely volatile. Like, it hit 720 yesterday, ran up to 740, and then ran all the way back down to 720. So as we know, Tesla's a big mover, and it's continuing to, still have these crazy moves here. So thanks for the comment, Vicky. I know Tesla is one of those bigger stocks out there, and looking at it on like a 1-year daily chart, it's going to be crazy. Like, we really need Tesla to hold up here around 700, and the way that Tesla made a lower high recently doesn't give me a lot of confidence here. And I also don't like how Tesla is starting to break below my key trend line, this big blue trend line. Tesla started breaking below that again, and then we're breaking below, $1,000, and then even 900. Now we're even below 800. So it's been crazy for Tesla, but hopefully we can start to move back up over the next couple weeks. I will say, though, given the movement I'm seeing today, I don't like it. I feel like it looks a little bit bearish in my opinion. Take that for what it's worth, but personally, I feel like Tesla can keep falling back down a little bit. And Vicky, if you're bullish on Tesla for the longer term, I will say, check out the video Mike and Hunter made a couple weeks ago. They have an amazing video out on the channel about Tesla where they go over their valuation and everything like that. So definitely interesting. And I just can't wait to see what happens with Tesla for the future, guys. Like, Tesla is such a crazy stock, and they've been unveiling a lot of stuff recently. Let me actually pull up some of their crazy stuff we've been seeing here. Wait till you guys see this. I mean, this is getting insane here. So I'm gonna pull this up on BBC, and yeah, cool. It has a picture of the robot as well. So here's on BBC, guys. We can see this is the new Tesla robot, and Elon Musk says that this is gonna be a bigger business than Tesla cars. And keep in mind, I know Elon Musk has, he said some crazy stuff in the past, and I know that I know he's not too crazy, but or I know he is pretty crazy, but nonetheless, he does a lot of the stuff he still says. Like, he still makes rockets, and he's truly planning to like go to Mars and stuff, guys. So it's pretty cool to see him actually doing a lot of the cool stuff he talks about. And he's talking about making these robots, and the robots will do jobs that a lot of people, necessarily don't like to do or don't want to do, like lots of maybe like manual labor jobs, or like just like little stuff like in factories, like just putting nuts like onto bolts and stuff like that, or like putting car doors onto a car or whatever it is. The main thing is like, it looks like these robots might start to help out here, and this is going to be huge for Tesla over the next like 5 years or so. And this could really, boost their stock up, I think, in a big way. Now, it's not going to happen quick, obviously. Who knows how low their stock's going to drop in the short term? Like, who knows? I mean, looking at the max daily, I wouldn't be surprised if Tesla ended up at 600 or 500 again, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised. But what I'm saying is that over the next like 5 to 10 years, they're going to have a lot of big news come out regarding these robots, regarding self-driving semi-trucks in general. Like, I know they've been developing them for a while now, and they're talking about having like semi-trucks that can have some crazy ranges on these electric batteries. And what's crazy is like, you can like build the batteries like into the trailers and everything like that. Like the bed of the trailer, instead of being wood or whatever, might be made out of like battery or whatever it is. It's crazy, guys, and there's some pretty crazy technology that could boost Tesla up in the longer term. So I'm not saying they're bad, but in the shorter term, they're a little bit overvalued, and they're probably going to keep dipping down a little bit. Although I do hope that they keep going up, and I hope the best for them, because I love good old Elon, and Elon's my favorite, especially with Twitter going on. It's been awesome. I can't wait to see if he can actually buy Twitter. Let me know in the comments how you guys feel about Twitter. Like, do you think Elon should just quit at this point with Twitter? Like, it's pretty crazy. Their stock's all the way down to $37. It's pretty crazy to see how it's been falling off. Like, do you guys think he should just quit with this and give up, or do you think he should keep going after it, or what have you? Because it's pretty crazy. And I know some people like Elon, some people don't. I'd be curious to hear your guys' opinions. And Vicky, definitely let me know how you feel about good old Elon. I know he, hopefully you like him, but I have no idea. But in the end, he's definitely a very influential figure, and hey, he's trying to do the world a little bit better. Lots of people have been hating on Elon, but in the end, I mean, that's huge, guys. I mean, I don't know how you can hate a guy who does that. It's crazy. And then he's talking about going to Mars. He's starting these rocket companies, and like, people don't get how much that's gonna help the world whenever we can finally go to these planets and do things, and stuff like that. I mean, it's crazy. I talked a little bit about it yesterday, but like, you're talking about maybe doing manufacturing on other planets and stuff like that, because it's crazy. Hunter says, I hope he gets it, because the people who run Twitter now are scumbags. Yeah, I agree, Hunter. They're terrible. I mean, it's pretty crazy to see everything that goes on. Like, not even with just Trump, just overall, like, you can get banned for just saying like the most minuscule of things. You can, it's bad, guys. Like, they're very manipulative too. Like, they also try to push their own agendas and stuff like that. And I know everybody in their head they think in the back of their head, they say, I know that these websites and apps aren't good for me, like Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, things like that. Like, it's not good, like, it's pretty bad, actually. I'll tell you, like, Facebook's one of the worst ones. Like, I can't believe that their algorithms and stuff are allowed to operate the ways that they are. Ken says, kick Twitter to the curb and move on to something more important. Hey, Ken, that might be a big thing. I will say, though, Twitter could be pretty important. Like, if there's no free speech platform out there, and, like, if there almost needs to be one. Like, let's be honest, like, it's kind of not fair. I hate to say it, but as far as, like, politics go, it's pretty one-sided. Like, if you go on, like, Facebook or Twitter or whatever it is, it's pretty much, like, all one-sided, and it's almost all to the left side. So I don't know, just for the sake of debate in general, I kind of hope that there's more diversity among platforms. I just hate to see certain groups be put down, whether it's Democrats, Republicans, independents, whatever it is. I'd like to see everybody have the same opportunities and everything. Ken says, how much would it cost to start a new platform to replace Twitter? Yeah, that's a good point, Ken. That's a really good point. Maybe replacing Twitter would be the best way to go, honestly. I mean, that might not be a bad way. Ken, I'm not sure how much it would cost. I mean, I think it would cost less than it would to buy a Twitter straight up, to be honest. Now, keep in mind, he would do it the right way, and he would spend a lot of money. The main thing is that it does cost a lot to operate, given, all the server requirements and everything like that. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. But Ken, that is a good point, actually. You're definitely right there. I think it would be cheaper to start a new platform. But the thing is that you don't have the same following on the new platform. So pretty much, like, if Elon Musk made a new platform, Ken, it might end up just like Truth Social. Like, Trump made Truth Social, which is ticker DWAC. And as we know, Trump's been on there. He's actually been saying stuff and different things like that. But the main thing is that you're not going to have all the same viewers. So, like, on Twitter, there's still a lot of left-leaning people on there, and then there's also right-leaning people on Twitter. Like, it's very diversified on there. If Elon Musk made his own platform, the only people that would go right now are the people who support him. And I've been seeing a lot of like negative articles about Musk and everything like that. So like half the world wouldn't even go to the platform, which would suck. So yeah, like Hunter said, the hard thing would be getting a user base. And I think that they would be able to get a good user base. It's just the unfortunate part is that lately I've been seeing a lot of like left-leaning political platforms really dissing Elon, and I have a feeling that a lot of left-leaning people would not go to that platform. So that's why I think Twitter is needed, just because it's more diversified and there's just so many people on it already. Like Hunter said, it'll be really hard to build that up. Vicky says they should quit Twitter as it's too much of a distraction. Let somebody else fix Twitter. He's also becoming kind of rude publicly, which is not good for his image as a CEO. Yeah, I guess that could be true, Vicky. Yeah, he has been a little bit rude, to Twitter's CEO and a couple other people. You might be right there. So yeah, it just depends, I guess. But Vicky also says if one values Tesla just based as a car company, they don't know what it's doing. Yeah, you're right, Vicky. That is very true. If you just look at it as the company it is today, you're right. That's definitely just not the objective way to look at things. You can look at numbers that way, but you do have to try to also guess things in the future, which is another big deal. But keep in mind, Vicky, though, that Tesla is pretty, I'm not, they are overvalued, but keep in mind that they just have so much stuff going on in the background and stuff that they're going to probably have some issues in the short term. But I feel like for the next 5 to 10 years, they can start to do better. Just short term, it'll be a little rough. Yeah, Ken says a hostile takeover of Twitter will draw too much hate from the left. Ask Trump how that worked for him. Yeah, exactly, Ken. I know it's so hard to look at it. I feel like if he started his own platform though, it might be even worse, but I don't know. It'll be tough, Ken. Hopefully it all works out for the best in general. I really hope that come this next election season, people are actually allowed to express themselves. It's kind of funny whenever only one side is able to speak out. It's kind of, honestly, like looking back in history, it's kind of weird to even think about. Like, are we gonna hear about this in like 30 or 40 years in the history books as like a very weird time? Because I'll be honest, like I could see the government coming in and trying to regulate some of these social media companies or something based on everything that's been happening. Because it's pretty crazy, guys. Like the way that they can like switch their algos to benefit them and stuff like that. It's very insane. But yeah, we're getting pretty close to 9:30 today, guys. If you guys want any other stocks or any other topics talked about, just let me know in the comments. If you guys see any stocks that are running up today with some momentum, also leave those down there. It'll definitely help. And don't forget to hit that like button. Always helps out the stream. It helps YouTube push us a little bit more in their algorithms. We've been talking about Facebook and Twitter and everything like that. YouTube also is pretty big with their algorithms. So, the more likes, the more comments and everything like that, the more the channel will get put out there, and it really helps. So I appreciate everybody, and hopefully the live streams are helping out, and hopefully you guys get some value from them, because I know it's definitely fun to talk about stocks like Tesla and Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and everybody like that. It's been a very fun past couple weeks, especially with all these big headlines coming up. But let's see here. It looks like I'm looking here on CNBC for some big news. It looks like the FDA authorizes Pfizer's COVID booster dose for kids ages 5 to 11 years old. So that sounds very interesting. Let's see. He said, although COVID tends to be less severe in children, more kids have been getting sick and hospitalized with the virus since the Omicron variant became dominant in the U.S. over the winter. So that's very interesting. I can't believe that we're seeing Pfizer still come out with more doses. Let's see how their stock's doing. Yeah, Pfizer's actually breaking out above $50, running up to 51.17, almost 51.25 today. So who knows if it can start to break that high of day at 51.28. Really look for a nice pop here out of Pfizer, guys. It has some pretty good news with this headline, and I will say the setup on the daily isn't my favorite, but it is starting to turn back up here with some momentum, so that's good to see. Let's see. Hunter says, not to toot our own horn, but Mike and I kind of nailed Tesla being overvalued and being able to catch it cheaper, as it then fell almost 40% in a few weeks after. That's what happens. That's what happens when you take future cash flows from all their possible operations and discount them back. Yeah, that's a good point. Really good point, Hunter. It's pretty crazy to see how Tesla's been pulling back, and it probably will keep coming back down in the short term, believe it or not. So it sucks. It's a long-term game. That's what everybody forgets about. Like they forget that in the short term, these stocks can pull back in huge ways. Like, for example, even if Tesla in 5 years might be valued at $5 billion or $5 trillion or something, still for the next couple of years, they might have some issues. And, I know that they've really been falling off ever since that video, Hunter. You're definitely right. I don't know let me find out the exact day that video came out. We'll look at it on the chart here. Let me go to the channel really quick. Let's see. We'll go find the video, but yeah, Tesla's really been falling back down. You guys hit that right on the head here. Let's see. Let's see if it'll load on my YouTube here. My YouTube don't want to load now today. Let's see. Tesla intraday is actually not looking too good though. Oh, I see why it's not loading now. My internet must have cut out or something, guys. If let me know if the stream cut out, because it's pretty it's taking a long time to load up here on Thinkorswim. I hope the stream's okay. I have a feeling it is, but we'll have to see. Let's see. So going back here, let's see. The harsh truth. Let's see. It came out 2 weeks ago. Let's see. We filmed the first one when Tesla was right under $1,100. Let's see. Well, I'm trying to go back here. I'm trying to go back to the exact time, Hunter, what day it was. Oh, well, see, that makes a big difference though, Hunter, if it's posted a lot later. That definitely makes a difference, but still though, that was still telling though. But still, yeah, it's cool to see it coming down like that though ever since then. I will say also on technicals, like I would say Tesla is also going down just based off of regular price action too. Like looking at it, it's been in a really crazy setup here over the past couple months, and it has lower highs as well. It's been falling below key supports and breaking below trend lines as well. So it's been rough for them, and they're not gonna go up forever. So it's gonna come down in the shorter term. But I will say I don't see it falling down too much. Like, a lot of people act like Tesla is just gonna crash and burn over the next like 2 years, and that's not the case. Like I don't care how overvalued it is, it's not gonna crash and burn or anything like that. It might come down to 600 or 500 or whatever it is, but over the next 5 to 10 years, I could see it, still coming back a little bit. It all depends though. There's still some plays from the .com bubble that are still not back up to highs, but it's it is telling though. And be careful, guys, because you could always buy at the wrong time. And I know a lot of people have with Tesla. Actually, Tesla's been one of the killers in the market. Obviously, people have made a lot of money on Tesla, but I would say if we look at the amount of people who have lost money too, that's probably more staggering than the people who have won. So keep that in mind, guys, that, not everybody talking about Tesla is truly winning on Tesla either. That's a very big deal to keep in mind. And I'm sure Tesla will be at 600 or 500 or something like that over the next few months. But I really hope it comes back, because I think they have some pretty big stuff in the works. And hopefully in the future, they just continue to prevail. But it'll be a tough one. I know there's a lot of conflicting views with Tesla out there, and I'm kind of in the middle, like I understand both sides, and I try to look at both viewpoints objectively rather than just, taking one stand, one side or the other. But, yeah, let's see. People think they can pay any price for a good company and it'll work out. Yeah, that's not the case. Yeah, it's not. It's not the case, Hunter, at all. And what I also really hate is that everybody looks at stocks like Apple and Microsoft and other stocks like that. And, I know even some people like we know lately have, like they've said over the past few years, like, Apple always goes up. Like, if you like Apple, just buy it anytime, just buy it. It'll generally come back, and that might be the case, but is it smart to buy Apple at 180? Like after it just had all this crazy upwards movement and these crazy uptrends since COVID and everything like that. Like, it's just not, it's just not a good time to buy. It's just it's simple. I mean, yeah, you're right. People think they can buy whenever, but it's not the case. Tesla right now is at a decent price. I mean, I'm not sure that I'd buy it right here. I'm not buying it right here if that says anything, but I don't know what price would be a good valuation at for Tesla. It's very hard to try to gauge everything given their future stuff and everything like that. But hey, at least you're getting it at a big discount right now, given the high of 1,200. But I still feel like it might go lower, so it's crazy. But yeah, good discussions there, Hunter, Vicky, Ken, everybody. I appreciate all the nice comments here and everything like that. I know it's always hard to look at some of these stocks and for the longer term, and I'm sure some people will get proved wrong and some people won't. We'll just have to see how the prices end up moving here. But yeah, personally, just be really careful, guys. It's a tough market out there. And what's also pretty telling is keep in mind that if Tesla wouldn't have had the 5-to-1 split, they'd also be at like $3,500 right now. So also keep that in mind, that their stock price would be crazy high if they hadn't split. Now I know it's still the same percentages and everything like that, but still it's still pretty telling. That would blow people's minds even more if it was saying 3,500 right now. It would be like Amazon or something. So yeah, just keep that in your mind, guys. But thank you guys for joining up today. It was a very nice stream. I appreciate all the nice discussions and everything like that. Hopefully these stocks keep moving well today. I know a lot of the growth plays are moving up, like DraftKings was doing well, DoorDash, LI, Neo even, NIO, Rivian was moving up, which was great. Talk about buying companies at the wrong prices, Hunter. Talk about Rivian and Lucid over the past couple years. This is I know you and Mike were hitting on Rivian really hard when they first came out, and this is a great example, Hunter. Tesla's a little bit more established, and Tesla is producing like, I don't know, I think they're expected to produce like 1.2 million cars this year or something, but look at Rivian. I mean, their price is just insane, moving to the downside. Same thing with Lucid. I mean, it just goes to show you guys that while these stocks might boom up over the next 5 years or so, in the shorter term, I mean, they can always have these major pullbacks like this and stuff. So it's always important. But nonetheless, thank you all for joining up today. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday, and hopefully these stocks keep pumping up for us. But have a great rest of your day.